Good Wednesday afternoon, everybody. I'm meteorologist Tim Pandajis here with your update on what is now Hurricane Epsilon out in the Atlantic basin. Today is October 21st. 2020. So here's the latest. We're down to 39 days left in the 2020 Atlantic season. June 1st to November 30th, that 6-month season. Epsilon has become the 10th hurricane of the 2020 season. It's a Category 2 storm out there right now and continues to strengthen. And since 1850, if we go all the way back, there's only been 15 seasons with 10 or more hurricanes. So this would be the 16th season that we're seeing that. Overall, it's been a record-breaking season, each storm that we've had pretty much. We're in the auxiliary list right now. Greek alphabet, the only other time it's happened, 2005, and they finished the season in December with their final storm of Zeta. We'll see if we get there or even surpass it with over 5 weeks left in our season here in 2020. Here's how it looks right now. Epsilon, 110-mile-per-hour winds at Category 2, gusts up to 130. You can see here, certainly looks like a hurricane, a cleared out eye in the center there that has convection flaring all the way around that center. A loop here over the last 18 hours shows it strengthening and a pretty well-defined core there with those 110-mile-per-hour sustained winds. In terms of its eye, it's got about a 17-mile diameter eye right there, and notice the real intense convection here, especially on the on the western side of that storm. Overall, where is it in terms of any land masses at all? Well, it's about over 350 miles away to the southeast of Bermuda right now. And the good news is it looks like this will pass safely by to the east with maybe some of the fringe tropical storm force winds maybe making it to the island there. If we switch things up and look at the visible satellite imagery, you can see that eye looking more and more defined, a signal of a strengthening system here, and it is over some very warm sea surface temperatures. We'll show you that in a second. What else has been very interesting about this storm is when you look at it and switch up the filter here to the water vapor imagery. It depicts the dry air and the warm air. The moist air. The moist air is situated with the system here overall right in the center, but this tongue of very dry air getting pulled in from the north and wrapping almost completely all the way around the system. Now, the worry here, well, not the worry, the thing that will be detrimental to the storm and possibly weakening it is if some of that dry air gets pulled into that center. But right now, as we saw with that core, it is very well insulated from that dry air getting entrained into it because of that convection completely surrounding the center. So if it was to pull in some dry air, it would sputter along a little bit, but likely not going to be too detrimental to it, at least in the near term here, as it is expected to stay at Category 2 as it moves to the north. Here is Bermuda right here, but all of these dark red shadings are very warm sea surface temperatures. It's 79, 80-degree Fahrenheit waters, and all of these are up and over 80. In fact, it stays above 80 until we get to around here or so, and then it starts to get a little bit cooler as you gain latitude. So here's the official track from the National Hurricane Center. Category 2 right up through tomorrow morning, getting a little stronger with winds up to 105 or so. Well, in fact, a little bit weaker considering we're at 110 right now. Moving farther to the north and gradually weakening as it encounters the cooler ocean temperatures, and then zips quickly on off towards the north and east, passing by well to the east of Bermuda. Let's look at the models now. This is the GFS ensemble. Again, 21 members here, all of them well off to the east of Bermuda. Always good news. Tropical storm warnings, though, do remain up for Bermuda, and that's for the potential of seeing some of the fringe effects in terms of some of the winds. Here's the probability of seeing at least tropical storm force winds over Bermuda. So you look at the yellows and the orange shadings and the green. We're talking 30–40% chance of seeing those at all. Again, higher chances the farther off to the east you go. Right now, the wind field is quite large. Off to the northeast, on the northeast side of that center, the tropical storm force winds extend out over 350 miles. So it's a huge wind field, but notice as we put it in motion here, it looks like some of those winds do stay well to the east of Bermuda too. And then as it gains latitude, that wind field does expand, although overall getting weaker, the larger area does encompass those tropical storm force winds as it heads to the north. So that's the latest on Epsilon as it's going to move by safely to the east of Bermuda in the next couple of days as a Category 1, Category 2 hurricane. Any questions on the system or anything else having to do with tropics or weather, you can find me on Facebook, meteorologist Tim Pandajis, also on Instagram, Tim Pandajis TV, and on Twitter. Have a great Wednesday.